Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be comparing the front facing cameras on the LG G6, Samsung Galaxy S8 and the newly released HTC U11. On the LG G6 it's got a 5 megapixel camera at the front, and that's the camera I'm recording with it right now. It can record up to a full HD 1080p, that's the max video resolution it's got, and it's only a 5 megapixel sensor. For some reason LG chose to keep it 5 megapixel. I fail to understand why, but everybody else, including like say HTC and Galaxy, have actually souped their cameras up. On the Galaxy S8 the front camera is 8 megapixels, and on the HTC U11 it's a 16 megapixel sensor, so that's a really big jump from what they had on the HTC 10. So now let's switch on things to Samsung Galaxy S8. Okay, so now I'm recording with the front facing camera on the Samsung Galaxy S8, and same lighting conditions guys. I've got an LED lamp facing me, and also in the UK it's evening time, so low light from outside, sun is almost down now. So the front camera on the Samsung Galaxy S8 has an 8 megapixel sensor. It has an f1.7 very bright aperture, so that will probably help it get more light into the sensor, and I hope you can see the video. I think from the way I can look at it, it seems to me as if it's pretty clear, and it's a lot better than what we had on the LG G6. By the way, the front camera can record up to 2K, but at the moment I'm recording at full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second. There is no 60 FPS on the front camera. This autofocus feature on the S8, which is something new, which I haven't seen on any Galaxy or any other phone. So let me bring my face really close, in fact my fingers, and see if my face can go blurry. There we go guys, really close, there we go. As you can see, the camera is now focusing on my fingers and my face has gone blurry, which is very, very nice. There is a bit of focus hunting going on. Obviously if I move my fingers a bit towards this side, then the face gets into focus. As you can see there we go, boom. So it's very, very sensitive, but the object has to be really close to the camera for the autofocus to kick in, so it's not looking too bad. Yeah, I think the front facing camera on the Galaxy S8 is really, really nice. I really love the way it's putting all this lighting into the sensor, that f1.7 very bright aperture, and this is probably one of the best front facing cameras I've seen on any Android phone so far. I haven't tested the HTC U11 just yet, so now let's switch on things to the U11 and see how that comes out. Now, so over to HTC U11. I'm recording with the front facing camera on the HTC U11. This is a new camera with a 16 megapixel sensor, which is a big jump from what we had on the HTC 10. Also the aperture is f2.0, which is bright enough but not as good as we have on the Samsung Galaxy S8. The front camera can record up to full HD 1080p at 30 FPS, and unlike the Galaxy S8 it doesn't record up to 2K. Now the minor difference I can see as opposed to the S8 is this is definitely better than G6, no question about it. I can tell you straight away. The picture is less grainy, the video is less grainy, and also I think my sound and my picture overall is coming quite strongly. But the only thing I think I can see on the screen whilst I'm recording this is the change in exposure. If you really see, if I bring my hand, there's a change in shift in any sort of movement on the camera, you can see the exposure and the color, everything starts to change a bit, as if there's a bit of hunting going on to get the right optimal settings. See, it goes black, the background goes a bit darker when I move my fingers, any sort of movement. But if I stay steady like that, you can see guys, it's much, much better, but still it is struggling just a little bit. Whereas on the Samsung Galaxy S8 it was much more steady, and also because the S8 has an f1.7 aperture, so there was more light coming into it as well. So I think this is where probably the S8 beats the front camera on the HTC U11. It has more steady video, it has a better overall color reproduction, and also changing exposure is pretty nice, especially when I was doing the autofocus on the Samsung Galaxy S8 front facing camera. This camera obviously hasn't got no autofocus, but still it is just a fixed focus. It wouldn't do that obviously, but I'm not obviously comparing the focusing capabilities of the cameras right now. I'm trying to see how good the overall video quality is. Audio I'm sure must be really, really good, but video wise I can see, like I said, there's a bit of change in exposure. Every time there's a bit of movement or change in the object orientation, all of a sudden the camera starts to struggle. I think the camera on the 10 probably was a bit more capable. It was an ultra pixel sensor, and so same as this, but that had, I think, a better aperture if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I remember the video wasn't that bad on the HTC 10. So I think here they have increased the megapixel count on the sensor, but they have compromised on the video quality just a little bit. For most people, it's going to be more than acceptable, and I'm sure if I take this camera out in the daytime with sunlight, it's going to produce some really crisp video. But I did this purposely because it's low light, it's evening in the UK, the sun has gone down, I got one LED lamp facing my face, so I wanted to see how the front facing cameras will behave in low light and see which phone comes out. I think the S8 in my opinion is the winner here. Number 2 is HTC U11, and number 3 is the LG G6. So guys, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. And like always, please subscribe as it helps, and I shall see you in the next video.